They laughed. Not the polite kind, the kind that stings. The kind that makes you want to shrink into yourself or fight back with everything you've got. They laughed at her idea, at her ambition, at the thought that someone like her could build something worth noticing. "It's cute you think you can do that," they'd say, smirking. "You're just not cut out for that kind of thing." But here's the thing about people who laugh at your dreams. Sometimes they're just telling you where you're going to win. Because one day, she wouldn't just prove them wrong. She'd sign their paychecks. Her name was Lauren James. If you'd met her at 24, you probably wouldn't have pegged her as future CEO. She worked the register at a chain coffee shop in a small Midwestern town. Khaki apron, name tag, hair pulled back in a messy ponytail. Customers came and went. Some were polite. Some acted like she wasn't even there. And in the corner, on the break room bulletin board, her coworkers had a joke going. A list titled, "Things Lauren Thinks She's Gonna Do." It started as a joke after she'd once mentioned wanting to start her own business. Now they'd add things like, run $1 million company, speak on a stage, write a book. They'd write them in marker, laugh and say, "Dream big, Lauren." She'd smile, pretend it didn't bother her. But every time she saw that board, it lit a fire. Lauren wasn't delusional. She knew what people saw, just a small-town girl from a working-class family. Her dad was a mechanic. Her mom cleaned houses. Money was always tight, but the real shortage in her life wasn't cash. It was belief. Her parents loved her, but they were realists. "You can't get your hopes up too high, honey," her mom would say. "Better to stick with something safe." But Lauren had this thing in her chest she couldn't ignore. She didn't just want a job. She wanted something of her own. She wanted to create something people would love. And she had an idea. A small one. A simple one. A subscription box for eco-friendly household goods. Reusable, sustainable, and stylish. Targeted at busy families who wanted to do better for the planet without overthinking it. She told a few people at work. They smirked. One coworker said, "That's adorable. You gonna sell it out of your car?" Another said, "You don't even have money to buy a decent phone. How are you gonna start a business?" The laughter hurt, but it wasn't the worst part. The worst part was the doubt that started whispering in her own mind. Maybe they were right. Maybe she was ridiculous. Still, late at night, after her shifts, she'd pull out her old laptop and sketch out ideas. She learned about suppliers, packaging, marketing. She couldn't afford a business course, so she lived on YouTube tutorials and free PDFs. She emailed potential vendors and got ignored. She'd stay up until 2 a.m. researching only to wake up at 6 a.m. for another shift. And every time she walked past that bulletin board, it was like the universe was daring her to quit. One Thursday, a new girl named Rachel started at the shop. They were cleaning tables together when Rachel asked, "So, what do you want to do after this?" Lauren hesitated. She was so used to being laughed at. But something in Rachel's tone was different. So she told her. Rachel didn't laugh. She leaned in. "That's brilliant. I'd buy that." It was the first time anyone had said that. The first time someone believed. And something shifted. Lauren realized she didn't need everyone to believe. She just needed to believe enough to start. She started small. One box. One theme. She used her tips from work to buy the first batch of products. She posted about it on Facebook and offered it to friends and family. Her goal? Sell 10 boxes. She sold 12. She reinvested the money into the next batch. Then the next. She learned what people liked, what they didn't, how to package it better, how to ship it cheaper. For 6 months, she ran the business from her tiny kitchen. Boxes stacked in the hallway, packing peanuts in her shoes. Her coworkers still laughed, but now some of them were ordering boxes. One night, scrolling through Instagram, she saw a post from a local influencer asking for small businesses to collaborate. On a whim, she sent a DM. 2 weeks later, the influencer posted an unboxing video. It went viral. Orders poured in from all over the country. She quit the coffee shop 2 months later. Within 2 years, her subscription box had over 5,000 monthly customers. She had a small warehouse, a full-time team, and a growing waitlist. And one day, while looking through resumes for a new marketing position, she saw a familiar name. It was one of her old coworkers, the same one who'd once told her she was adorable for thinking she could do this. Lauren hired her, not out of revenge, out of something better, because she knew the best kind of full circle is the kind where you prove yourself without losing yourself. Now, Lauren speaks at business conferences. She mentors young women with big ideas and small budgets. She tells them they don't have to believe in your dream. They don't even have to understand it. But if you believe enough to take the first step, and then the next, one day they'll believe because they'll have no choice. So if they're laughing at you right now, let them. If they're rolling their eyes at your plans, let them. Because one day you might be signing their paycheck. If this story hit home for you, if you've ever been underestimated, drop a comment and share your story. I read every single one. And if you want more stories that remind you that the laughers don't get the final say, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this with someone who needs a push today. Because the dream they mock today might just be the empire you build tomorrow.